Have you ever wondered if ancient civilizations knew more about the universe than we give them credit for? Imagine the legends of gods descending from the sky, or mysterious beings guiding early humans as echoes of something real. In this video, we're exploring the astonishing possibility that our ancestors had advanced knowledge of space or even encounters with beings from other worlds. This isn't just another tale of ancient myths. We'll dive into the connections between ancient art, mysterious artifacts, and architectural marvels that suggest these early societies understood the cosmos in ways that still baffle us. From Egypt's celestial gods to ancient structures aligned with the stars, join us as we uncover the hidden secrets of ancient space travelers. Across different cultures, ancient art often portrays beings connected to the skies. Take the ancient Egyptians, for example. Their gods, often depicted with wings or celestial features, were deeply associated with the heavens. But what if these weren't just religious symbols? Some researchers believe they could be inspired by real encounters with beings from beyond our world. This idea might seem far-fetched, but why do so many ancient cultures, separated by vast distances, share similar depictions of sky beings? The striking similarities raise intriguing questions about what our ancestors might have seen or known that we don't. Let's turn our attention to some of the most famous ancient structures on Earth. Stonehenge, the pyramids of Giza, and the Nazca lines are not just architectural wonders, they are also aligned with key astronomical events. For instance, Stonehenge is aligned with the summer solstice, and the Great Pyramid aligns with the Orion constellation. The precision of these alignments raises a question. Did our ancestors possess advanced knowledge of the cosmos? How did they achieve such accuracy without modern tools? Some theories suggest they could have been guided by visitors from the stars, perhaps even the same beings depicted in their art. These alignments are not just coincidences. They demonstrate a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. Beyond art and architecture, countless artifacts and legends challenge conventional history. The Dogon tribe in West Africa, for example, has long held intricate knowledge of the Sirius star system, which includes details modern astronomers only discovered with advanced telescopes. How did they come by this knowledge? Some believe it was passed down from ancient space travelers who visited Earth. Another example is the Piri Reis map, a 16th century map showing parts of Earth as they might have appeared from space, including Antarctica's coast free from ice, a view that shouldn't have been possible at the time. These artifacts suggest a once glorious civilization that reached for the stars and left behind traces of advanced knowledge. These mysterious artifacts and legends push us to rethink what we know about human history and consider the possibility that our ancestors were in contact with advanced beings, or perhaps that they themselves were more advanced than we've imagined. While mainstream historians often dismiss these ideas as pseudoscience, the evidence, art, architecture, artifacts, and legends paints a picture that's hard to ignore. Could ancient civilizations have been far more advanced than we thought? The idea that they had knowledge of space, or even encounters with beings from other worlds, might not be as far-fetched as it seems. As we continue to explore the mysteries of our past, it's essential to keep an open mind. The secrets of ancient space travelers could revolutionize everything we think we know about human history. Whether these stories are true or not, they inspire us to keep searching, questioning, and uncovering the truth. If you're as fascinated by the mysteries of the ancient world as we are, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.